The fundamental unit of life. Cell. The word cell is derived from a Latin word, cellis, which means a little room. Cell is the smallest unit of life. It makes up all living things, including the body's tissues. It is the structural and functional unit of life because whole body is made up of cells. Discovery of cell. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. He saw cells in a thin slice of cork with his crude microscope. He observed as honeycomb-like structure and named them as cells. His discovery provided the first concrete evidence that living things were composed of several tiny structures or units. Gadgets to study cells. Cells are too small to be seen by naked eye. They are studied with the help of microscopes. Microscopes are high-resolution instruments that are used for observing fine details of very small objects. Two common types of microscopes. Light microscope magnification range from 100 to 1500x. Electron microscope magnification range from 1 lakh to 5 lakhs. Size of the cells. Cell size is variable. It can range from a millionth of a meter to a few centimeters. Smallest cell, found in bacteria, RBCs in the human body, etc., and can vary between 0.1 to 0.5 micrometers. Longest cell, nerve cells. Largest cell, egg of an ostrich, the central yellow sphere, and is between 170 mm by 130 mm. Shape of the cells. Cells are of different shapes, often related to the functions they perform. 1. Round or spherical, e.g. RBCs in humans. 2. Amoeboid, just like an amoeba has irregular shape and keeps on changing it. WBCs too change their shape and can squeeze themselves in between other cells to reach other, infected cells. Shape of the cells. 1. Spindle-shaped. These cells are long and pointed at both ends. Example, muscle cells in human body. 2. Elongated. They resemble a branch of tree. Example, nerve cell. 3. Bean-shaped. Gourd cells are bean-shaped or kidney-shaped cells present in the epidermis of leaves. They help to regulate the rate of transpiration by opening and closing the stomata. The shape of gourd cells changes due to the amount of water in them. They swell when water flows into them, causing the stomatal pore to open, and shrink when water is lost, causing the stomatal pore to close. Unicellular and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms, compose of single cell. Single cell constitute the structure and entire function of the organisms. Example, amoeba, paramecium, euglena. Multicellular organism, compose of many cells. Division of labor can be seen in these organisms. Example, plants, animals, human beings. Structure of the cell. The three essential parts. 1. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. This is the living, outermost covering of the cell. It is thin and elastic. It is composed of lipids and proteins. It holds the contents of the cell. It is a selectively permeable membrane as it allows the entry and exit of some materials. Movement across cell membrane. Diffusion. The process of movement of molecules from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration is called diffusion. It helps in the uniform distribution of materials in the cytoplasm. Example, gases like CO2 or O2 can move across the cell membrane by the process called diffusion. Osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water or any other solvent from a region of higher water concentration to a region of lower water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. The process lasts until an equilibrium is attained. Endosmosis, movement of solvent, water, into the cell. Exosmosis, movement of solvent, water, out of the cell. Movement across cell membrane. Number 1. Hypertonic solution. The cell will gain water through osmosis if the medium surrounding it has a higher concentration of water. Such a solution is known as hypertonic solution. Number 2. Hypertonic solution. The cell will lose water by osmosis if the medium has a lower water concentration. Such a solution is known as a hypertonic solution. Number 3. Isotonic solution. If the medium has exactly the same water concentration as the cell, there will be no net movement of water across the cell membrane. Such a solution is known as an isotonic solution. Structure of the cell. The three essential parts. 1. Cell membranio or plasma membrane. It is found only in plant cells outside the plasma membrane. Plants do not have a skeletal system, but the cell wall keeps the plant in form and maintains the cell shape. It is a rigid covering made up of cellulose which determines the shape of the cell. It provides mechanical strength to support cells. It protects the contents of the cell. 2. Nucleus, brain of the cell. It is a small, round and membrane-bound structure near the center of a cell. It has a double-layered covering called nuclear membrane, which has pores for the transfer of material from inside to outside of the nucleus. Example, to the cytoplasm. On the inside, it is filled by a fluid called nucleoplasm. It also contains thread-like structure called chromatin which gets condensed into chromosomes, rod-shaped structure. Chromosomes are made up of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and proteins, histones and acidic proteins. DNA stores all the information for the cell to grow, function, and divide. These segments of DNA are called genes. Genes are the hereditary unit of life. In the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and protein molecules, the chromosomes store information for the inheritance of traits from parents to the next generations. The nucleus plays an important role in cellular reproduction. 3. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a thick solution present inside the plasma membrane. It is composed of water, salts and proteins. It surrounds the nucleus of the cell. The cytoplasmic matrix or the intracellular fluid that is present inside the cells is called the cytosol. It also contains many specialized cell organelles that performs a specific function for the cell. Cell organelles present inside the cytoplasm. 1. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents. Animal cell. Vacuoles are small in size, store glucose, glycogen and proteins. Vacuoles are temporary in plant cells. Plant cell have very large vacuoles, store cell sap which contains amino acids, sugars and organic acid. Vacuoles are permanent in plant cells. Cell organelles present inside the cytoplasm. 2. Endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum, a dynamic structure, is a network of membrane-bound tubes and sheets in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells. They appear as long tubules or round, oblong bags. One end of the endoplasmic reticulum is connected to the nuclear membrane and the other end is connected to the plasma membrane. Endoplasmic reticulum. Most eukaryotic cells have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. 1. Rough RER has ribosomes attached to its surface that give it a distinctive appearance under the microscope. These are the site of protein synthesis. 2. Smoother. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is distinguished from the rough endoplasmic reticulum by its lack of ribosomes. It helps in the manufacture of fat molecules or lipids. 3. Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus, first described by a scientist, Camillo Golgi, consists of a system of membrane-bound vesicles arranged in stacks called cisterns. The Golgi apparatus further processes and sorts the synthesized material received from air to various targets inside and outside the cell. Its functions include the storage, modification and packages of products in vesicles. The complex sugars are made from simple sugars in the Golgi apparatus. 4. Lysosomes, suicidal bags. Lysosomes serve as the cell's digestive system, breaking down substances taken in from the outside and digesting obsolete parts, old cell organelles. By this, they help to keep the cell clean. They contain powerful digestive enzymes which are capable of breaking down all organic material. Under abnormal circumstances, lysosomes may burst and the enzymes may begin to digest the damaged cell. They are therefore known as suicide bags. 5. Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria have two membrane coverings. The outer membrane is very porous while the inner membrane is deeply folded, creating a large surface area for ATP synthesis. The energy required for various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP, which is known as the energy currency of the cell. For this reason, mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell. 6. Plastids. Chromoplasts are the colored plastids present in leaves, flowers and fruits. Plastids containing the pigment chlorophyll are known as chloroplasts. They are important for photosynthesis in plants. Chloroplasts also contain various yellow or orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. Leucoplasts are found primarily in organelles in which materials such as starch, oils and protein granules are stored. Nucleus, key to the life of the cell. The nucleus is an integral component of the cell. It contains the cell's hereditary information and also controls the cell's growth and reproduction. This can be easily understood by an experiment performed on amoeba, which is a single-celled organism. Amoeba is a single-celled organism. It grows and divides into two amoebas, which further grow and redivide, thus the race continues. If the nucleus is removed, it dies. If a nucleus from one amoeba is transplanted into another anucleate amoeba, the donor dies and the recipient survives and divides further. Thank you.